Winter always feels like an in-between chapter. The air sharper, the colors drained, the world turning the page a little more slowly. The trees stand there in their simple outlines and the days grow quieter, as if life itself is asking what we want this next chapter to be. Tolstoy wrote, "Love is life. Everything that I understand only because I love." This winter I want to understand my life more by learning to love it as it is. So I'm treating the season like a novel and giving myself a winter curriculum, a small, gentle syllabus for my days. Lessons in work, in rest, in creativity, and being fully present. These are the pages I'll be walking through, book in hand, as the snow keeps falling. Welcome back, everyone! The winter curriculum is finally here. A lot of you really loved my fall series for my fall curriculum of life. And because of that, I decided, I also promised that I would come along and provide a winter curriculum as well. I'm super excited for this one. As you can tell, I titled it my Anna Karenina winter curriculum. And the reason I did that is not for those tragic vibes, okay? If anyone knows how Anna Karenina ends. It's more for that beautiful Russian literature vibe from that era. Think big long fur coats, the beautiful train stations, not in a tragic way, big feelings, romanticizing things, just like that beautiful scenery of winter and that kind of aesthetic. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of theme my template, my Notion template around that, and just kind of embrace winter in that way as well. Because as a lot of you mentioned, if you live in a cooler climate, winter can feel, rough. It's not the easiest season to get through, and that's why a lot of you requested that I also do a curriculum for winter, because it helps you get through the season. And I agree, it makes the season more enjoyable. It makes you romanticize certain parts of it that help you get through it. And it also helps you with goal setting, which is great for this time of year. As New Year is around the corner and we're thinking about our goals and our habits and our rituals and routines, this curriculum can really help you with that as well. So for today's video, what I thought I would do, instead of breaking down how my curriculum's going to go, I thought I'd take you guys along with me as I start working on my classes as well, because I got a lot of questions in my first series about how do I fit it into my week? What does it look like when I'm doing it? How am I making time for all the things that I have on my curriculum? So that's my plan. So if you guys are ready to join me for another semester of life, a winter curriculum, buckle up and let's get started on our first day of classes. So this Notion template is probably looking really familiar to any of you who have watched my fall curriculum, because it is the same template. I've just adjusted it slightly for winter. This is what it looks like. So we've very much dived into that kind of Anna Karenina old school theme, and I have updated my books list, podcast list, movies and documentaries, kind of just left my digital garden as it was. I didn't actually use it that much last semester. And then I do have all the classes in here. So right now I want to talk about Notion 201, an extension from Notion 101 from last semester, which is to continue building on the semester view, which is really just me focusing on the things I like about Notion and working on Notion templates that are either for myself or for you guys or for my business. I really want to get into creating them more. So let me know if you guys actually want to see anything in particular. But what I've been doing is, because I do miss writing by hand, I've been using my traveler's journal and I've been taking notes and simplifying things, because I didn't get that far last semester because I think I had too many ideas per template. So I've really pared it down to the one that I got the most work on, which is a UGC creator Notion template, which I want to pair with a website template as well to kind of make it a pack of all the things a UGC creator could use, because I think that would be really useful. And I also just think it'd be a really fun build. So I kind of took note of the needs of a UGC creator. And then as a bonus, but we'll see how far I get with that one, because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself and get kind of carried away with too many different templates like I did last semester, is a Commonplace Hub Notion template. So this is like the digital version of the Country Commonplace book that I've mentioned in my videos. If you guys don't know what a Commonplace book is, it's a place to store like quotes, snippets, pieces of literature you like, visuals, and that book that I'm talking about in particular, it did it by seasons, and I thought it'd be really cool to do that myself. And I thought by building a Notion template that makes it really easy to do that, it'll encourage me to do it, and then perhaps I can share it with you guys if I'm proud of that. So as I mentioned, last semester was just too much. So you'll see a common theme as we go through the different kind of classes I've set up for myself for this winter semester. I've kind of narrowed things down so that I can get more specific and better in-depth work on each thing instead of like a million different ideas.
the door.
Okay. While I let that cook, I thought I'd talk to you guys about the cooking lab, as I called it from last curriculum, how it went last time and what I'm changing this time. I'm just pulling up my Notion so I can see it. So I believe in the last semester, I said I was going to cook something new, like twice a week or something. I kind of failed on that. And the few things I did cook, I didn't love. So I've decided to make the focus for the winter semester more about, yes, trying something new each week, but it could be like not just like a full food item. It could be like a sauce or something slightly different with the way you cook something, but just learning and adapting different things. That way I'm kind of cooking things that I like or that are easier. And I also have been watching a lot more on like meal prepping and how to make eating clean better. And this one kind of ties in with my morning class as well, which is like lowering cortisol levels and insulin spikes and things like that. And these two are kind of connected together for this semester. So I've just been practicing things like that. I've added a lot of documentaries about food health and fitness to my winter semester curriculum because I just want to be more knowledgeable on it. I realize like as fun as cooking it can be sometimes, usually I'm pretty busy during the week. So I want to make it easier to eat cleaner and then also understand why certain things do make it cleaner. So like I have a whole list of cortisol friendly breakfasts, best drinks, like warm drinks for the nervous system. These are all the different things that I want to explore with the cooking lab. So you'll see, as I showed, it's like things like that sauce that I made that are a little bit easier to speed up cooking things and making them taste good, even if they're healthier, and just kind of focusing on that for the lab for this semester. One thing I've also started doing, which I haven't done for a while, is calorie track, because I think it's going to help me learn a little bit more about like how much each thing, like how many calories each thing is, and also the macros for it, because I feel like I'm completely unaware unless I have something kind of teach me and guide me. And I'm hoping over time I just won't have to use it anymore. I can like eyeball it and know. So yeah, that's my little update on how the cooking lab class has been going for me for this semester. Let's talk about History 201, which is another continuation from my last fall semester, History 101, although if you guys have been watching how my fall curriculum went, you'll know it's not that much of a continuation because that was the one topic that I really didn't get ahead of or like really follow through with, which is why I've decided, similarly to my cooking lab connecting to my morning class, which we'll get into on another day, I wanted to make sure that this one connected to some of the other things I'm doing. So my history course ties in with one of the books for the month, which is the history of Alexander. And I really wanted to learn more about Alexander the Great. And I thought if I'm reading a book on it and it ties in with the history, it'll motivate me to get a little bit more done. And it's not so broad. It's like it's tying in with the other content that I have going on. So if I pull up my History 201 in Notion, you'll see generally the themes that I was thinking of focusing on based on the months. So we have it from like December to January, from January to February, and then February to March. And then it kind of finishes off in March as well. And I have all the different kind of readings and resources I want to go through. I don't know if I'll necessarily go through all of them, but it kind of sets a theme per month. It's making me think that I need to move this book to the front of my reading list. Although my plan was actually to do research before reading it, then read it, and then do a little bit of research after and see how it all ties in, because it might be nice to have a little bit of context before I start reading it as well, specifically on who the author is and the comparisons of this narration on Alexander the Great versus some of the other authors. So we'll see. I haven't fully decided on that. What I did do today is take some notes in my traveler's notebook, which I guess I'm just using for my curriculum this semester. It's nice that it's broken up into all different notebooks, so it's very easy to stay organized. But I kind of just set some homework this week, which I was just doing, which is reading up on 3 of the different authors and their takes on Alexander the Great and just comparing that as well. I plan to do this, so this is my lunch break currently, where I just spend a little bit every day or so going through the little tasks, and then once I get to this book, I think everything will tie in together. But that's a whole other thing we could get into, which is my reading list for this winter curriculum as well.
Welcome to The Rest is History. Back in the mists of time when we were mere podcasting novices, when we recorded our very first episode, we hit on the subject of greatness. And today's podcast is about a man we talked about a lot in that first episode without ever really getting into his story. And it is probably the greatest story in all history. It is, of course.
Good morning, everyone. It's late morning actually, but I wanted to show you an example of my morning routine. This is for the slow days. I just want to say, I don't do this every morning. This is for the weekends, or if I happen to have a slower work morning where I can afford to do a little bit of this. But this is my ideal morning setup, and it really relates to my morning, what did I call it? My morning 201 class, which is lowering stress through intentional mornings. And it's related, as I mentioned, to kind of my health and fitness, like my meals, cooking lab as well, because I wanted to focus on things like slow breakfast prep, like simple beauty ritual, reading or writing in the morning, and making sure that I focus on doing things that aren't necessarily on my phone. So one of those things is building my morning tray, which I've talked about a little bit on my channel before, but how lovely it is to have kind of your ritual displayed on a nice pretty tray, something that elevates my morning. So I have my yogurt here, my Greek yogurt with some berries and almond butter. I have my vitamins, the few that I take in the winter, and my coffee, which I make sure nowadays I don't add anything sweet. I just add a little bit of cinnamon, and that seems to just tide me through. I used to have such a sugar problem, I'm realizing, where I thought I really cut out artificial sugar, but then I was really dependent on honey, so I'm really trying to cut back on that too. And then I have my lemon water, which I will make sure I drink with my vitamins and eat before I start drinking most of my coffee, because I know that helps as well. To lower my cortisol spikes in the morning, I'm not going to have coffee on an empty stomach anymore. I used to do that a lot. So instead, I take it easy, have a slower morning, and I have my coffee kind of last. I make sure I have everything else first. But yeah, that's my morning prep, and I just wanted to share that with you all. My few things I've been loving is I used to do the 5-minute journal, but I've actually kind of turned more towards using this little old notebook I had for my 3 morning pages of journaling for doing the artist way. I've kind of fallen off track on that already, but I want to stay on track with at least writing my 3 pages every morning. And I also like to do the crossword puzzles. I only really do this on the days where I have the time, but it's just nice to do something that requires thinking and writing without using my phone. Vitamins to start, my zinc, which is the funnest one to eat. It's a gummy. We have my omega-3. Also, how cute is my bear cup? Everything has to be bear themed in my house. And then this one I hate taking. This is my vitamin D one. It was one of the cheaper ones that come in like that powdery form. So if you don't throw it down your throat fast enough, it just really, it like starts to dissolve in your mouth and is really unpleasant. Ooh, okay. Moving on to the yogurt. During the weekdays, actually, what I've been doing, because I know it's important to maybe eat protein more than sugar in the morning. So this is kind of a treat for me on the weekend to have this. I've been having just like a boiled egg with some veg or some salmon. So some goals I still have though that I've really not done well with this week, which is why I haven't really filmed my morning routine till today, is to wake up earlier in the morning on the weekdays. I have fallen into a bad habit of going to bed late lately and then getting up late. And it doesn't feel very productive for me. So I really want to work on this weekend, going to bed a little bit earlier, coming into the week a little bit more rested, and waking up earlier as well. That is the one thing about working for yourself that, even though I try to stick to a 9-to-5 schedule with my own clients, you have the control to sleep in as long as you want. So if I want to sleep until 9, it's been happening lately. My goal is this week to wake up at 8. I know for any of you going into work, you're like, oh my gosh, that's actually so late. For me, that's early. I want to wake up at 8 next week and then gradually start moving it back to like 7:30, I think is like a good spot for me. I'm not a huge morning person, but I also don't feel productive just like staying up late either. So I'm like, I have to find a happy medium. Anyways, I'm gonna write my morning pages now, so if you'll excuse me for a minute. The Artist's Way is very much about practicing writing your stream of consciousness on 3 pages when you first wake up. I find that really hard to do, so I just try to do it as part of my morning ritual, and that's the best I can do, so. All right, I didn't quite finish. We got this far down that page, and I took some gaps on the other 2 pages, and that's fine. That's fine. We're just gonna take that as it is, you know? And I need to get a pencil to fill out my crossword. That's what I'm gonna do next. You guys don't have to stick around for that, but I hope you enjoyed at least seeing how I'm starting to work on my morning rituals, what I've been loving lately, and how I'm planning to kind of evolve this class. It's definitely evolved since last curriculum of fall, like that fall series, and I want to keep just working on it and improving it. And as I mentioned, there's so much I still need to fix, like during my work weekdays, where I know I need to lower those cortisol levels and just have a more calming morning. And it all starts with waking up a little bit earlier and giving myself a little bit more time to do these things, not just on the weekend. As you can see, I just did a little sketch. I'm trying to sketch faces more. This isn't quite a face, but we're getting there because I find I'm not very good at sketching faces. And I know I mentioned in my last curriculum that I wanted to do more like a sketch journal. I do want to continue doing that as well, but I also want to start looking at like not just sketching from my head, but sketching things from Pinterest and just working on my overall sketching skills. And I really love pen and ink, so that's what I've been using. And that's probably what I will continue using just because I enjoy it and I want this to still be fun for me. But I'll keep you guys posted on my whole kind of sketching journey for winter and see if I can improve much by just sketching more. And the other things that I wanted to do today that have to do with like my hobbies, or as I called them, my electives, was playing the guitar and reading. The thing is, it's like, I don't know if I'll have time to do both today with all the other things I need to do, like cleaning the house and a little bit of admin work. So sometimes one thing has to get cut. We'll see if I'm able to do both, but I might take you guys with me to the grocery store right now. It's freezing outside, but that's okay. I need to get it done, and I'd rather have everything ready to go earlier in the day instead of scrambling right before I have to leave. So let's go and get the food I need to go get. So you just saw me reading one of my books from my books for the winter semester curriculum that I have selected, and the book that I was just reading is the 5 a.m. Club, which I've already read before, so I felt like I could just easily pick it up, skim through it, get some quotes again, get some inspiration for getting my morning together for my morning 201 class, and starting out my week stronger next week of waking up earlier. I'm not going to be getting up at 5 a.m., but I think there's a lot of great insights and quotes you can take from here that can help you inspire just to work on your morning routine overall. So that one's nice and easy because it's a reread. I'm a big fan of rereading books that help you out in different ways. These ones are all new for this semester. I have The E-Myth Revisited. This is a book that a really good friend of mine recommended that relates more to business, delegating tasks, all these things that I want to work on. So I plan to literally treat this one like a textbook and study it. So this one's going to be more like in the evenings, perhaps, when I have time to just go through and take some notes. This book, I think I already mentioned in my History 201 class, which is really, focused on Alexander the Great. So this is the history of Alexander, and I really want to get started on this too. And I'm already excited about it, which I think was a good call. I was listening to podcasts about Alexander, and I think that helps me get more excited to read the book. So it's already working. I thought that would work a little bit better this semester to have history tie in with the books so that I get more pumped up about reading and then also learning it, vice versa. So I really like that the classes are interacting more this semester together. And then this book I'm super excited for, and it's actually not that thick. It's called The Wide Sargasso Sea, and is the prequel to Jane Eyre, not written by the same author, obviously. Apparently it's a really good prequel though. I've heard really good things about it. My mom actually recommended it to me because she knows I love Jane Eyre, and it's all about Mr. Rochester pre-Jane Eyre and kind of how he ended up in the place he ended up. And I won't say anything else because I don't want to spoil Jane Eyre as well, but I think this is going to be a really fun read. So those are my books for the semester. And I thought this was such a good quote that I got from the 5 a.m. Club that really ties into my whole winter curriculum for the semester. I wrote it down, and the quote was from Tolstoy. So gotta love an Anna Karenina link up. And if you don't know who wrote Anna Karenina, it was Tolstoy. That's why this quote I felt tied in the whole video for today and the semester. And I wrote it down, and it's from the 5 a.m. Club, but it's a quote from Tolstoy, and it says, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." A little fun quote to help you get started on your day. Think about how you can improve yourself, your morning routine, your life, make the changes you want to see. So I thought that was a fun little way to wrap up this, long kind of vlog centered around my winter curriculum, give you guys a little peek at how my weeks look when I squeeze everything in. And I would love to show you more about how my winter curriculum progresses in vlog style form if you guys enjoyed this video format. So just let me know down below. And if you want more structured, say you're new to my channel and you don't know about this whole life curriculum idea, my fall one literally breaks down how to build a curriculum. So I recommend checking out that playlist. I'll link it as well for you guys if you want more steps on how to build out your own and how to use the Notion template as well to build your winter curriculum. But I really hope this has inspired you to at least start, or that you've already started, and you can let me know how it's going in the comments down below. With that, I will see you guys all in next week's video. Bye, friends.